South China Morning Post, 7th of March 2024, Shehbaz Sharif is still a sticking point in Pakistan-India relations. Can he help them thaw? As long as the army rules Pakistan, there can be no peace between that country and India. Without a false sense of threat, Pakistan cannot and ought not to have such a large army. A leadership change in Islamabad may lead to a thawing of long-standing tensions between India and Pakistan. Still, political analysts caution that the neighbours must address outstanding concerns and their complicated past. In his inauguration speech on Sunday, newly elected Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif compared Gaza to Indian-administered Kashmir and called for a settlement to free both regions. However, he also pledged to improve ties with other major countries, including the country's neighbours. Keep ties with neighbours based on equality. He said that Pakistan would keep ties with neighbours based on equality and that his government would expand the country's allies. Pakistan would also not participate in any great game. This Week in Asia spoke with former Indian diplomat Ajay Bisaria, who expressed cautious optimism that both countries will progress in the second part of the year. He stated, Shehbaz Sharif now has the responsibility to rally the troops and take some fresh steps in the direction of India. The Sharif family is thought to have a more favourable opinion of New Delhi than the deposed Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, who frequently made provocative statements about Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Nonetheless, Pakistan is the actual decision-maker. Military. A day after taking office, Modi congratulated Shehbaz on social media. In May 2014, his brother, Nawaz Sharif, the three-time leader of Pakistan, attended Modi's swearing-in ceremony. In return, Modi surprised everyone by travelling to Pakistan in December 2015 and attending Sharif's granddaughter's Lahore wedding. Pakistan observed between 2017 and 2020 that neither nation was the other's top priority. India is currently uninterested in its relations with Pakistan since they are preoccupied with the general election. He mentioned Imran Khan, Afghanistan, Chinese debt, and US-China ties as other Pakistan issues. Therefore, neither nation is in a rush to start a partnership. Giving India firm guarantees on terrorism, according to Bisaria, would be one action Pakistan might take, given the emergence of low-grade terrorism in the form of drones, especially in the Punjab and Kashmir region. I believe that India's fundamental demands would be a decrease in terrorism and Pakistan providing India with guarantees regarding that, the speaker stated. Although relations seemed to improve during Modi's first term, India's intention to revoke Jammu and Kashmir's special status in 2019 further strained relations with Pakistan. Since 1947, India and Pakistan have been at odds over the Himalayan region of Kashmir, a dispute that led to two wars between the neighbours. According to Bisaria, Pakistan had made unrealistic demands for Delhi to change its mind. On Thursday, Modi was scheduled to pay his first official visit to Srinagar, the capital of Indian Kashmir, since Delhi assumed full authority of the region in 2019. From 2014 to 2017, Abdul Basit was Pakistan's High Commissioner to India. He stated that Islamabad may communicate with Delhi through unofficial channels to resolve the Kashmir dispute. Building possibilities is the essence of diplomacy, he said. Basit cautioned that reverting to organized conversation at this point would further erode Pakistan's attitude regarding Kashmir. We must have clarity regarding the fundamentals of policy before interacting with India. The head of the South Asia Institute at the Wilson Center, Michael Kugelman, stated that he did not anticipate any change in the two nations' relations anytime soon. Modi's speech lacked sentiment and was very curt. In my opinion, it shows that Modi recognizes the new administration and wants to maintain stability. And with that, he concluded. There was no olive branch in the message. Shehbaz isn't a hawk in India, but he doesn't back down. He is more aggressive than his brother when it comes to India, so any proposals he makes for closer ties will be contingent on New Delhi reversing its positions on Kashmir, which is not going to happen, he continued. However, Kugelman proposed that commerce might be an area where advancement was feasible. Shehbaz might advocate for the reopening of some border trade for economic reasons. However, India is not likely to comply. This implies that it is doubtful that one of the few possible steps to improve confidence in India-Pakistan relations will happen, he stated. Senior Pakistani journalist Hamid Mir stated that without a national consensus in Pakistan, Shehbaz will find it challenging to improve relations with India. In the February 8 election, candidates supported by Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI), Imran Khan's ousted successor's party, secured the most seats. However, Sharif's Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and the Pakistan People's Party (PPP) collaborated to form a coalition, which allowed Shehbaz to be elected Prime Minister following his brother Nawaz's resignation. According to Mir, Shehbaz's government is heavily dependent on the support of the PPP, which has historically benefited from the Kashmir dispute to win over support. Secondly, Shehbaz Sharif cannot establish a fresh beginning with India because, cons, PTI is a widely supported opposition party, he continued. Mir stated that while sources within the establishment indicated India was prepared to go with the Musharraf formula, no Pakistani party was ready to embrace it. The formula refers to the four-point solution former leader Pervez Musharraf proposed to resolve the Kashmir dispute. It calls for demilitarization, unrestricted travel across the line of control, self-governance without independence, and a joint monitoring system involving Pakistan, India, and Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir. Mir pointed out that General Asim Munir, the head of Pakistan's army, was a staunch advocate of UN resolutions about Kashmir and that he would not follow General Qamar Bajwa's strategy, which depended too much on back-channel with India. Pakistan's formidable armed forces have masterminded multiple overthrows and maintained direct control over the nation for over 30 years, all while exerting considerable influence on the nation's foreign and internal policy. The fact that China and Pakistan are so closely related means that Pakistani officials cannot stand in India's way, since doing so would put Pakistan at peril, according to Mir. The latest diplomatic efforts were merely optics, according to Ajay Gudavarthi, associate professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University's Center for Political Studies, who spoke with This Week in Asia. Gudavarthi said he thought there was no hope of better relations between Islamabad and Delhi until there was a military-political connection in Pakistan. No politician has a vested interest in a meaningful and peaceful partnership. Pakistan is run by its military industry, and India has a majoritarian government, he stated. Furthermore, home politics are becoming increasingly polarized around many foreign policy problems. Therefore, I don't see how the relationship between the two countries could improve. According to Gudavarthi, both nations required an external foe to deal with an internal crisis. The intricacy of democratic mobilization has surpassed these states' capabilities. What political scientists refer to as the overload of the state. On both sides of the border, the state is experiencing a crisis of legitimacy. Consequently, he clarified that an outside foe is necessary in such a situation to maintain public interest. Gudavarthi emphasized that better relations between India and Pakistan through politics or culture were impossible. He thought trade and development were the best ways to close the gap. Pakistan's economic collapse has ruled out even the chance that trade and development could serve as a mediator between the two nations.